Welcome back to the Now Morning Show. Now, as we shared this morning, there is so much going on, and we want to make sure you stay informed. Coming up is the UWI-75 Cricket Fest, happening on Saturday, the 7th of October at the Sir Frank Worrell Ground. Joining us this morning is Dr. Earl Otley, president of the UWI Cricket Club, St. Augustine. Good morning, Dr. Otley, and welcome.
Good morning, Natasha. Good morning, Trinidad and Tobago.
It's a pleasure to have you here.
Yes, thank you.
Now, we had a chance to just briefly chat off air about the importance of this event. Can you share some of the history with our nation this morning?
Right. So this year, the university is commemorating its 75th anniversary. So in the 1940s, there was no University of the West Indies. There was no university in this neck of the woods. And then with the backing of the United Kingdom, the University College of the West Indies was created at the Mona campus. So that was the first campus in Jamaica. And on October 4th, the first classes began. The doors of the university was opened for the first time. And that featured 33 students, medical students. It started with a medical faculty, and of which 23 were male and 10 female. And from then on, in the 1960s, the campus here at Trinidad and Tobago St. Augustine campus was opened. And following that, then the great Sir Frank Worrell, he became the director of sport here at the St. Augustine campus, and he was the one to lay the first turf wickets at what we call the UWI-spec. The ground is named after him, the Sir Frank Worrell Memorial Cricket Ground. And so that's how really cricket really started here at the campus here.
Fantastic. Beautiful history. It's not something you may necessarily think about as you're just, going past spec. You're just walking through to get your work done. Now, let's talk about this fest in particular, because there are so many activities aside from cricket that we've seen being shared. What are some of the activities we can look forward to on Saturday?
Right. So Saturday, as in tomorrow, it's a cricket festival. So there's something for everyone, for the entire family. So we have bouncy castle, we have face painting, we have 360 photo booth. All of this is included in your entrance fee when you come in. Those are the things that are geared towards the children. And of course, there's the lovely cricket that will be taking place. We have 2 matches scheduled, both of them are T20 matches, a women's match, followed by a men's match. So the women's match will start at 3 p.m. and the men's match will be at 7 p.m. The women's match features the UWI Women's Cricket Club, which was formed in 2012. And they have an invitational team, and they will be playing the champions of the Trinidad and Tobago Cricket Board National Women's T20 Tournament, which is the Phoenix Cricket Club. So just to flag some of the marquee players who will be involved in that particular matchup. We have persons like Anissa Mohammed, Brittany Cooper, Stacey Ann King, who's now a commentator. All 3 of these would have been women who would have featured on the international stage for the West Indies women's team. And we have some upcoming stars in the under-19 level. Shalini Samaru, the captain of the West Indies female under-19 team. Katie Jazz Mitchell, Samara Ramnath, who featured in the CPL at the age of 15 years, the women's CPL. Maria Lafoucade, right? So these are some of the players who have been, which is what the celebration is about, celebrating the history that has passed, as well as looking forward to what is coming. So that's the women's game. And then at 7 p.m., there'll be a men's match, which features a UWI men's invitational team, which consists of our UWI Cricket Club players. It will be captained by Jamil Lashley, who is our current UWI Cricket Club captain and alumnus, as well as other players like Adrian Ali, Tamayo Hutton, who probably has the most runs for the club over the years, right? Keon Utley, who is currently in trials for the Super 50 team, which starts next week, right? People like Cyan Hackett, under 19 star, right? And that team will be playing against a UWI-20 all-star team. So the UWI-20 tournament was started in 2012. It got interrupted because of COVID in 2020. So players who would have performed remarkably in the tournament over the years, some of these players have so graciously offered to be part of this memorable event.
That is so beautiful. I know you always go back to where feels like home, and if it's one thing that we do know for those of us who went UWI, is always going to be home
Yes,
in some
yes.
form or fashion. Now, the first match starts at 3 o'clock, but
Right.
when does the actual event start on the whole?
The event starts with that
the match?
that first match at 3 p.m. So it will be going all the way through until 11 p.m. So if you can't make it earlier because of work commitments or things like that, feel free to come through for the 7 p.m. match.
Nice.
The
And
entrance.
is there a cost for attendance?
Yes, correct. So the entrance fee to the general public is $60, just 60 TT.
That's
really
not bad,
nice, yeah, exactly. And if you're a UE student, staff, you have a discount of $20 once you show your ID as proof of your identity in that regard.
Yeah, you know, that's something that's very serious.
And of course, children 12 and under, free.
Free.
So bring the children, come out. It's a family event. It will be a really lovely day tomorrow. You don't want to miss it.
It sounds like it's going to be absolutely incredible. So my next question for you is, you know, when we go to cricket, we take in our cooler, we take in our food. Is that something that's available for Saturday as well? Can we bring our own coolers?
Yes, of course. This is Trinidad and Tobago. Coolers are just a part of the events that happen. It's a line. You can come and you just enjoy yourself. So we bring a cooler. We want to control what's happening. So the coolers are small size. We have dimensions, average 12 by 12 by 18 inches. So a small cooler, not the one you're going on a fishing expedition with.
Yes.
Yeah, and there will be refreshments on sale, so you don't need to walk with that much.
Yeah.
You can have your stuff purchased there and enjoy the day.
It sounds like it's going to be fantastic. So it's just happening on Saturday, correct?
Yes, Saturday.
All right. Now, another question when it comes to, of course, the involvement of UWI and how this came about. We touched very briefly on the cricket club and how
Yeah.
it started. Could you share with us just a touch of a little
Right.
bit more?
So, as I mentioned before, 1960, Sir Frank Royal came here. He would have established the first turf wicket
Right.
at what is now the Sir Frank Royal Memorial Ground. And in the process, there would have been cricket that would have been playing at the campus. So at that time, that was when the UWI Cricket Club, St. Augustine, was more or less born.
Okay.
It wasn't under that name at the time. And following Sir Frank Royal passing and some of the original persons moving on, there was an interruption. And then in the 1980s, another Bajan, Mr. Anthony Jackman, who is a psychologist at the university, he saw the state of the pitch, knew the heritage of this great man and all that could happen, and Barbados' general love for cricket. So he fought with a few other guys to get the pitch refurbished and start back the cricket club. And that's how UWI Cricket Club in this iteration was restarted. We went through that process, came to the 2000, that's when I came on board, and the former president of the cricket club, which was Professor Trevor Allen, another Bajan. And he really, under his tutelage, really carried the cricket club a long way forward.
Yeah.
So 2003, the UWI spec was building, that is there, that was built. 2007, when the International World Cup was held here, the whole pitch and surface was refurbished. And 2012, the women's club was started, as well as the UWI-T20 started at that same time.
Very interesting. So still relatively young. We're looking at perhaps a decade with the T20 and the women's club as well.
Yeah.
Have you seen an interest grow in students when it comes to the cricket club? Do you have that active participation that you like, or would you like to see more of that?
Well, we always would like to see more, you know. We have over the time, student participation has grown because the cricket club, the men's cricket club in particular, consists of not only students but alumni and as well as invited players, so staff as well and other persons from the community. So it has featured even this young Sion Hackett who was playing for the West Indies under 19. He would have in his formative years been playing part of the UWI Cricket Club for a short period of time. So the cricket club has that pull for all of those particular groups of persons. And yes, of course, we want to see more students become involved. We have the challenge of students who come to study playing with premiership teams already.
Yeah,
so
nice.
the Queen's Parks and the Clark Roads and so on. People like who would also be participating here, like Keon Utley, the Yannick Utley, the Utley brothers, Isaiah Raja. So some of these guys would have attended the university before, and but they would have been committed to their clubs, you know. So.
Understood.
Yeah.
It seems like it's definitely a big community. I mean, we know that cricket fosters community no matter where you are in the world. Once you're a Trinidad, maybe not just Trini, you're Caribbean, you're from all over, you love cricket, you're a part of that community. And this is great to see that you have the younger ones coming in also with those who are quite well versed, to say the least, and see what their potential is when it comes to going out there. So first, before we go any further, let me say thank you so much for being here this morning for the UWI-75 Cricket Fest. How can we contact you if you want more information?
Right, so you can contact us at the spec info that should be on the flyer that is on the screen display, right? Of course, as I mentioned, in terms of the tickets, you can purchase there's Suntix link that is on the screen, so you can purchase tickets online. You can pay at the gate. You can come to UWI Spec and purchase your tickets. I would just like to mention our sponsors just before we run. So. Unicom, who has been on board with the UWI-20 since 2017, they've been a really lovely support to the university. Q-Styler Barbering and Skincare, Gopal and Company Limited, Selector Caleb. Crick 360 will be bringing it live streaming on YouTube and on Facebook. AS Bridens and Son, Dio's Tent and Party Rentals, Happy Portrait Photo Booths, Bird Sports, Harold Joe Sports, NAS Sports, Alims, Cricket Academy, the NCRHA, and the military-led academic training program, MILAT.
Thank you so much for that. Trinidad and Tobago, Dr. Earl Otley, president of the UWI Cricket Club. You need to go and check it out. It's happening tomorrow from 3 p.m. Bring your family out and have a wonderful time. We'll be back in a few moments right after this break.
A lovely day for cricket. Blue skies and gentle breeze. The